Hi Camp Mosheva, it's Tamir Goodman here in Jerusalem. I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland, and I fell in love with the game of basketball at a very young age. When I was 9 years old, I looked at my hands and I thought to myself, you know, wouldn't it be amazing if these hands right here could show the world that you could play Division I basketball and professional basketball without playing on Shabbat? I was able to do that at Towson University. They changed the schedule for me so that I would not have to play on Shabbat, and I got to live out my dream and play Division I basketball. I came over here to Israel, originally with Maccabi Tel Aviv. I played 7 years professionally. I also got to serve in the IDF. I was awarded a Chayal Mitztayen. Today I live in Jerusalem with my wife and 5 kids. I work for Apol Jerusalem. I'm working on a new product called the Aviv Net, which is the first ever antimicrobial and moisture wicking basketball net in the world. We just signed with Dick's Sporting Goods and it's changing basketball around the world. I do scouting for NBA teams. Thankfully, I get to unite the Judaism and the basketball just like I hoped for when I was a young child. There are certain days and certain times where you just feel like you need to bring your soul home and you really need a big hug from Hashem, and I'm so lucky that I could just hop on my bike or walk to the kotel whenever I need to, and to me that means everything in the world. One time I was playing professionally here in Israel, we actually had to go play in the Ukraine. The game was actually on a Friday. I only got to play in the first half and I left at halftime to make it back in time for Shabbat. Somehow I managed to find a little Chabad house there. It was a really far walk. It was a dangerous walk. There was a lot of anti-Semitism, a lot of people looking at me, and I never take off my kippah. And I remember when I got to the shul, they couldn't believe it. They said, you know, how did you walk here by yourself? They arranged for a non-Jewish person to walk me back to the hotel on Friday night with a big dog to make sure I got back safely. When I got back to Israel and we got in the locker room after the airport and everything, and I just looked in the locker room and I said, guys, I have to tell you something, man. The rabbi is living in this place. You guys can't imagine the anti-Semitism. You can't imagine the Msirut Nefesh. You can't imagine what he's living like with his wife and kids just to help a couple of Jews that are there. Like, his shul is really suffering. It's like falling apart. Like, is there anything we could do to help him out? And even though I was the only religious person on the team, every single Israeli player donated to help the shul and help the rabbi. And you know, I think that's the uniqueness about Israel, is that at the end of the day, we're all focused on making Israel as positive and productive as possible, and it's something that unites us that we don't have anywhere else in the world. So my message to you would be proud of who you are, have a strong connection to Hashem, have a strong connection to Israel, and surely that will give you everything you need to have a happy and meaningful life that inspires everybody around you.